Do you know what runoff means? Where do you think the runoff comes from?
From the sink, drainage, sky.
Let's take a closer look. Runoff is an overflow of fluid from a farm or industrial factory and or described as part of the water cycle that flows over land as surface water instead of being absorbed into groundwater or evaporating.
Ah, it's raining. Hey, have you ever wondered where overflow of the fluids from the rain goes by? Well, this is what the runoff is all about. Come, let's explore. Zoom in!
It occurs when there is more water than land can absorb. The excess liquid flows across the surface of the land and into nearby creeks, streams, or ponds, and thus runoff can come from both natural processes and human activity. Did you know? The biggest source of water pollution is contamination from stormwater. More than 500,000 liters of rainwater falls on an average suburban block each year in Canberra, Australia.
Whoa, that's more than 2,500 full bathtubs.
Yeah, that's right. And during a big summer storm, about 90 bathtubs can fall in less than 30 minutes.
So, what happens to all that water?
Well, some of it ends up in rainwater tanks and some soaks into your garden. But most of it becomes runoff that collects all sorts of pollution including soil, leaves, dog poo, cigarette butts, and other rubbish before disappearing into the drain. All sorted, right? Well, no. As we all know, runoff has a detrimental impact to the environment such as property damage, in which flooding has increased in some areas because water can soak slowly into the ground. Instead, it runs off hard surfaces and in a heavy rain can lead to flooding, erosion, and property damage.
Does it include pollution in water?
Yes, water pollution is also the result of runoff. Water becomes polluted as it runs across lawns, driveways, and other hard surfaces when it collects oil, gas, fertilizers, pet waste, and more. Water eventually carries these contaminants to our lakes, streams, rivers, wetlands, and marine waters.
That was an awesome trip. Now, let's proceed to our next stop.
Typhoons are one of the reasons of major flooding here in our country, right?
Yes, few of the biggest floods are caused by typhoons Auring, Rameng, Undoy, Yolanda, and just recently, Ulysses.
However, did you know that flood is not just caused by the rainfall? It is also caused by river overflow, just like what happened in Marikina and release of water from the dam in Cagayan and Isabela.
Are there ways on how we can prevent flood?
Of course there is. First is flood barriers or embankments. It provides additional protection to flood-prone areas, holding the water to stay on its place like rivers. It is somehow similar to regarding flood basins, which is an excavated area adjacent to rivers to protect against flooding. Second is planting trees. Trees catches rainfall and helps take water from the soil.
How about in urban areas? It is mostly concrete where it is impermeable to water, thus, it should be channeled directly to the drainage systems.
We must also not throw our garbages everywhere because it will get stuck on our drainage. Lastly, flood can be controlled by diversion canals. It redirects excess water to other bodies of water where there is a lower risk or impact to flooding.